Hello, hi. Are you coming with me on a walk? I am going to be walking and talking, and I'm here in Upper Bidwell, where I go for my hikes. Here I show you around a little bit. Here is the hill behind me, and everything looks really green. And on my way here, I was. It's a short drive with the car, you know, it's actually at the end of my street. But I listened briefly to the radio and to some news and to some show that is on the radio. And I want you to to just sort of just pay attention to how I sound. Because nobody on the radio, nobody on TV, nobody in the media sounds like this. Nobody sounds calm. Nobody sounds at peace. Everybody is agitated. Everybody is upset. Everybody is stressed, worried, confused. Sad. But nobody sounds positive, just positive, calm, simple. Having nothing better to do than to enjoy who they are. Yeah, an individual who is at peace with him or with herself. An individual who understands who he or she is. Such an individual would sound like this, would look like this, something like this. There's nothing to pretend, there's nothing to defend. And what I just heard on the radio is what I call disembodied language. This here, what you hear and what you see here, this is embodied language. You see the puddles? I have to jump over the puddle here. It has been raining really hard last night. I'm so glad that I can be like this. And this is not some belief for some spiritual mumbo jumbo. This is just me being with myself. Me being happy with myself. And anyone who's happy with themselves would, in my opinion, sound like this. Just look at this path here, it's how beautiful. The sun is reflecting on the rocks, which are still kind of wet from the rain. I'm reminded of a melody, which is a melody by Antonio Vivaldi, and I wrote a song to that melody. I did not find I had actually hoped that I could find some chords to play with that melody, but I wasn't able to find those chords. But I'm sure they exist somewhere a bit. Or maybe I didn't look far enough. So I just remember the melody, and I believe the melody is actually without a text. Yeah, of course. It's just music, beautiful music. But I wrote my own text to it. It goes like this. How did we come to this? We don't communicate. Are we incapable? Did we forget? Or never learn? Do we not know? When do we feel ourselves and express who we are? Yes, it is possible. We can communicate. I kind of forgot the rest. Yes, it is possible we can communicate. But this is, of course, a very different way of communicating, right? Than the other so-called communication that everybody is having, where we are primarily determined by negative emotions. And I hope that you can get this from my conversation here that I'm letting you listen to. I have a conversation with myself. I hope that you can get this, that I'm not in any way trying to be positive here or something, you know. This positive feelings is just a natural phenomenon. A natural phenomenon which emerges when we speak with ourselves and listen to ourselves. But we don't do that. And that's why our conversation with each other, our so-called conversation with others, is as troublesome as it is. Oh, what you hear in the distance is a lot of sawing and a lot of noise from machines, unfortunately. But oh, they're grinding down some wood, you know, with a wood chipper. Anyway, that's you can tell how my tendency is also to go there with my attention, and that's natural also. because of this noise. And I'm glad that it sort of just quiets down a little bit. Because I wouldn't like it if it continued. I mean, I didn't come here to listen to a wood chipper, right? It's so nice to just walk here and experience the beauty of these hills here, you know. So yeah, I'm a bit on a path here. This is kind of like a path that goes over the north side of the north rim of the canyon. And I got a bit of a running nose. You know, I also have wanted to change everything. Yeah, I believed everybody should know about this, and I tried everything I could to let everybody know about this. And in some ways I'm still doing that, because I'm making this video, but I'm not doing that anymore the way I used to. I'm not doing this anymore in any way that I myself are troubled by doing that. And yes, I've done that. Just look at it, this beautiful path, how that just goes all the way out there. Now I have caused a lot of trouble for myself by wanting so badly to let other people know about this. And yeah, I came to this point where I realized, like, yeah, okay, I want this, so I go on with it, and other people don't. So yeah, I guess they're missing out on this, but I am not. So here I am. Look at that. Just wonderful hills. And to me, it's not just walking here that is for me the freedom that I feel. It is really the freedom of my language, the freedom of my embodied language, in which I say what I want to say, and in which I can truly be myself. And by comparison, the disembodied language that I was just referring to when I was listening to the radio, yeah, it's just not my way of life. It's just not what I want to spend my time on. I listened to it a little bit, but I already felt like, oh my gosh, it is so intense. You know, they were talking about the war in Gaza, and they were talking about all the different talking points that people have about the war. It's so, yeah, so much. So it's so negative. Everything is negative. And regardless of who's talking, if I would start to talk about it, I start to also be negative. And yeah, of course, everybody has an opinion and all that. And I could also say I have an opinion about it. But what's my opinion about it? Well, this is my opinion. If people would be talking with each other like I am right now talking with myself, we wouldn't have any war. And I'm not a leader. I don't believe in leaders, yeah? Leaders who supposedly say what is important and other people who follow those leaders and who trust those leaders. I don't feel that that's the way we should go. If we're going to be individuals, because that's what this is all about. Yeah, embodied language is about being an individual, being your own leader, being your own authority. And yeah, there's nobody to tell you how to be. And we're not telling anybody else how to be. I'm not telling you how to be. I'm simply saying that you could also be like this. You could also be happy like me, but yeah, you are not. Because I don't hear from you. I don't see you. I don't hear that you have any interest, or anybody really having any interest in what this way of talking that I am expressing. I don't see how anybody is ever going to get this if they are not willing to talk with themselves. So it's not about talking with me, it's not about listening to me, it's about talking with yourself, about listening to yourself. And that's what I'm doing. It feels so nice to walk here. You know, when I look at the rocks or at certain pieces of hill, then I imagine as if I'm very small. Of course, I'm just the size that I am, but you just look at this more closely. How beautiful that is. It's just so nice. Oh, here, this rock with all this moss on it. In the summer, all of that, of course, dries up, and then there's no more moss on the rocks. Oh, wow. I don't even need to say anything to continue with that positive feeling, that positive sense of being in this environment, being on this path. This path which is rocky, but which is so beautiful. Here, look, let's close in on this here for a second. Here is this rock that is sticking out, and you can see how it is dripping. That's so beautiful, and all this moss on top. And it's also nice to walk here alone, because I don't have to keep up with anybody. Nobody has to keep up with me. I just like to walk at this slow pace, and I can stop wherever I want and enjoy, take it all in. And that's also an aspect of our embodied language, which makes us feel so comfortable that we can talk in the way that we want to talk. Here, look at this moss here. Isn't that gorgeous? We can talk the way we want, and we can pay attention to whatever it is that we want to pay attention to, and express it in our own way, with our own words. And if there is any need to stay longer with a certain topic, we just stay longer with it, and I'm looking up there because it looks like as if somebody is sitting there, but it is actually a rock that is sticking out. It's funny how we immediately imagine to see a person there, when in fact we're just looking at a rock. It's so necessary to be able to come to our own expression, and to also recognize that there is this conversation with ourselves which needs to be had by us, and which cannot be had with others, which shouldn't be had with others, which is just strictly a conversation for ourselves. And yeah, even though I record it, I could also just talk here with myself without recording it. And I've done so millions of times. And I will also continue to do that as well, because I don't carry my phone with me all the time. Why should I? Wow. Oh, this is so nice. I feel so lucky to be here and to enjoy this. But I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I do if I wasn't having this great conversation with myself about how to step on all these rocks without being troubled. How to walk over all these different rocks without any problem. Yeah. course, I'm lucky to be healthy enough to do this, and that's another, fortunate thing. However, one doesn't need to walk here to have this conversation. One can have this conversation anywhere, anytime. One doesn't necessarily need to walk, although walking will add a certain flavor to the conversation. Yeah. I'm glad that I took this path because the water has already receded or drained out enough that I do not have to walk through too many puddles here. If you were at a lower level, there's all these puddles, and you probably get your feet wet at some point because and that's a natural phenomenon, right? Water always flows to its lowest point. And you will see actually a similar phenomenon happening with your language. It will always go to whatever is asking or holding your attention. And if you let it go there, if you begin to notice like, oh, I still want to talk about this, or I still want to pay attention to that, you will say it, you will explore it, you will express it, you will feel it. And then after you've said it, after you have given it your full attention, it's all of a sudden gone. And you feel so spacious, so happy, so fulfilled that you have hit the nail on the head, so to speak. You have said exactly what you wanted to say. You've spoken with yourself in such a way that you have enhanced your own well-being. And that is of course a very natural phenomenon. You cannot predetermine that, or you cannot decide beforehand how that is supposed to go. No, it goes the way it goes, and you just allow it to go the way it wants to go. And look what beautiful. Unfortunately, there's no beautiful poppies here, but you see these beautiful pink flowers here sometimes. In other areas there's other flowers, but here there are not so many. Although it's all a matter of what is it? How you look at it, because there's millions of flowers here, only they're very small. Yeah, look. And this is another moment to stand still for a second and to recognize that it just keeps on going. It just keeps on going. Oops, gotta be careful here, because this is a little tricky here. Oops. Yeah. This is a good spot to sit here for a little bit. And then I'll get up again and then we'll keep going, okay? Ooh, don't want to fall into there. Because it will take quite a while before somebody finds you. If they do. It happens, sometimes that people trip or something and then, you're on your own here. So there's a certain danger also involved in, hiking or being in nature. Yeah. And, there's that danger, and there's also the joy in being able to not be deterred by that danger. That danger doesn't stop me from going here. And it shouldn't, because I know how to keep my balance. I know how to not fall into some crack. And I would like to also add that also this talking with yourself, exploring your own embodied language, even though the whole world is involved in disembodied language, there is a certain danger involved in that, because you are going against the grain. Yet, if you are not afraid of the danger, if you can somehow acknowledge for yourself that when you have embodied language, there is no fear. So, your ability to maintain your balance is actually created by your fearlessness. And you are the only one who doesn't fear this when you engage in your embodied language. Other people, they fear. They fear this. They fear their embodied language. They got it totally wrong, but it's okay. This is what they fear. That's why they don't have it. That's why they defend against it. That's why they oppose it. They ignore it. They don't want to go into it. To their own detriment. There are so many negative consequences because we don't have embodied language. I don't have these negative consequences. Here, I'll show you the distance here. You see, in the distance there is Horseshoe Lake. You see a little bit. I'm going to return here, going down the hill. And going downhill can be a wonderful experience if you don't fall. Going downhill can be a delicious feeling of, descending into your well-being even deeper and deeper, yeah? You've gone into the heights of, I don't know, you could say the heights of understanding, the heights of awareness. Of course, it's just a way of talking, but it doesn't matter. Now you're going down in the mystery of being in the here and now. I see one other lonely hiker here with a dog. It would be wonderful to have a dog and to walk here with your dog. Oh, he's coming this way. Hey, look at that. Hey, how are you? Hey. You got a friendly dog. Hey, yeah. Enjoying your walk? Yeah.
Right.
Enjoy. Yeah, I'm not training for anything. I am just enjoying this here while I'm here. So, okay. Oh, I see that my recording is almost coming to an end because my phone is almost not charged anymore. So I'm just gonna stand here for a second and make some concluding remarks while I sit on this big rock here. Okay. Wait, no, I'm gonna sit here. Yeah, on this one here. Okay. I said I was going to make concluding remarks, but I guess I don't have any concluding remarks.